Canelo Alvarez, boxing's so-called golden boy, a 4-division world champion, and supposed face of the sport of boxing. But is he overpaid? Is he actually worth the insane 9-figure paydays he's getting? Or is boxing fans being manipulated into overpaying for a fighter who no longer lives up to the hype? Canelo's career is full of carefully selected opponents, questionable scorecards, and strategic matchmaking designed to protect his legacy. Rather than to prove his dominance, he's dodged dangerous threats, controlled negotiations, and to weaken his opponents. And somehow he's still convinced the world that he is the pound-for-pound king. Meanwhile, his pay-per-view numbers have been declining, his performances are getting less exciting, and his fans are starting to question if they're even getting their money's worth. So why does boxing keep rewarding him with record-breaking contracts? Is it skill or is it brilliant marketing? And most importantly, who's really benefiting from Canelo Alvarez's business model? Either way, the truth about Canelo's career and his inflated worth and the business behind the brand might just change the way you see him forever. Canelo Alvarez isn't about money and being a champion. It's about perseverance. Born in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, as the youngest of 8 siblings, he grew up in a hard-working family. His father was a small business owner, and Canelo was introduced to boxing by his older brothers. By the age of 13, Canelo was already in the ring. He faced financial struggles but stayed committed to his craft. His fiery red hair earned him his nickname, Canelo, meaning cinnamon in Spanish. Unlike many fighters who had made a corporate backing early on, Canelo had to prove himself in the roughest boxing circuits. Canelo Alvarez's first professional fight is in 2005, earned him 800 Mexican pesos, which comes up to about $39 USD. Talk about underpaid. After racking up an impressive winning streak, Canelo caught the eye of Jose Chepo Reynoso and his son Eddie Reynoso, who would become his lifelong trainers and managers. Under their guidance, he transitioned from a local prospect to a global superstar, and eventually securing lucrative deals with major promoters like Golden Boy Promotions and later DAZN. His first major setup of competition came in 2010 against Jose Miguel Cotto, the older brother of Miguel Cotto. It was a test, but Canelo passed with flying colors. Then came a fight against the former world champion, Carlos Baldomir. At just 20 years old, Canelo showed his power, knocking out Baldomir in a devastating fashion.
Big uppercut and a double uppercut now for Canelo right hand. Everything's landing for the 20-year-old.
Victories over Kermit Cintron and others, solidifying his reputation as one of boxing's future stars. In 2011, Canelo got his first shot at the world title, facing Matthew Hatton for the vacant WBC super welterweight title. At just 20 years old, he dominated Hatton, winning by
unanimous decision
and claiming his first world championship. Canelo was no longer just a prospect, he was a world champion. By 2013, Canelo was a superstar. He had built a record of 42-0-1 with 30 knockouts. And there was only one way to go, straight to the top. The opportunity came in the form of a fight against Floyd Money Mayweather, the undefeated pound-for-pound king. At just 23 years old, Canelo is set to take on his biggest challenge yet. Enters Floyd Money Mayweather, a boxing juggernaut, a flashy flamboyant bad boy with a perfect record, giving Canelo his biggest payday yet at $12 million. And Floyd will be receiving $41 million. So on September 14, 2013, Floyd Money Mayweather took on the 23-year-old Canelo Alvarez in a super fight for the ages. Canelo came in as an undefeated champion with power, pressure, and size advantage. But Mayweather, he had experience, defense, and the best ring IQ in the sport. From the opening bell, Mayweather put on a clinic. His signature shoulder roll, precise counters, and elite footwork made Canelo look one step behind all night. Every time Canelo tried to press forward, Floyd made him miss and made him pay. Canelo had moments, landing a few solid body shots, but he struggled to cut off the ring, and his punches lacked snap due to Mayweather's ability to control the pace and range. Floyd's jab and straight right hand, his head movements were simply levels above what Canelo could handle. After 12 rounds, Mayweather won by majority decision. Yes, majority decision. One judge, CJ Ross, controversially scored it a draw, 114-114, despite Floyd dominating the fight. The other 2 judges saw it correctly, giving Mayweather a clear victory. This fight cemented Mayweather's legacy as one of the greatest defensive boxers ever. For Canelo, this was just a hiccup. The loss became a lesson, which he obsessed over for months. Days in, days out. But maybe you have thought this loss would break Canelo's spirit. But man, oh man, you would be wrong. This was an awakening of a monster. Canelo goes on a rampage, picking apart boxers left and right. Most fighters will never be the same after losing their undefeated record. But Canelo, he took that loss and turned it into fuel, instead of breaking him. Mayweather's lessons shaped him into a more complete fighter. He improved his head movement, refined his counterpunching, and became a true student of the sport. From that moment, Canelo went on a warpath. He dominated elite fighters like Miguel Cotto and Triple G. Each fight, each victory was proof that the loss to Mayweather wasn't a setback, it was a setup for something even greater. But will this justify him landing a big payday? Canelo's contracts are among the largest in sports history. In 2018, he signed a $365 million deal with DAZN. Sure, his fights generate millions in pay-per-view, but does he bring in enough value to justify these insane payouts? Despite his star power, some fans argue that Canelo's pay-per-view numbers are dropping. His fights against top opponents like Jermell Charlo and Khalid Plant did well, but they did not reach the heights of fighters like Floyd Mayweather. Are networks overestimating his draw? Another criticism is the quality of his opponents. Some argue that he avoids the most dangerous fighters at their peak. Fighters like Golovkin were massive, but was Triple G past his prime? And what about avoiding David Benavidez? Fans are starting to ask, is Canelo picking easier fights while getting paid top dollar? Canelo's fighting style has changed. Some say he's more strategic, others say he's playing it safe. Knockouts sell tickets, but lately Canelo has been going the distance more often. Is that impacting his marketability? Well, his former boss thinks so. Enters Oscar de la Hoya. The Golden Boy played a crucial role in Canelo's rise, signing him under Golden Boy Promotions and securing major fights that helped propel the young Mexican fighter into superstardom. But when Canelo cut ties with Golden Boy Promotions in 2020, the gloves came off, and De La Hoya's tone towards his former protege took a sharp turn.
I have nothing but respect for Canelo Alvarez as a fighter. His record and abilities speak for themselves. But he has spent much of the last 2 months insulting me rather than promoting this fight.
Since their split, De La Hoya has reportedly taken jabs at Canelo, questioning his boxing ability, training methods, and even his legacy. He's claimed Canelo is avoiding certain opponents, criticized his trainer, and suggested that the achievements aren't as great as they seem. Canelo, on the other hand, fired back by calling De La Hoya a disloyal person, a traitor. In boxing, respect goes hand in hand. For Canelo, Oscar broke both. Canelo accused De La Hoya of not being honest in business dealings. In 2020, Canelo filed a lawsuit against Golden Boy Promotions and their broadcasting partner DAZN. Over contract disputes, he felt misled and claimed that De La Hoya wasn't looking out for his best interest. But let's fast forward to now. The man has reportedly just closed an incredible deal. Canelo signed with Turki Al-Sheikh as a part of the Riyadh season, guaranteeing him 2 fights in 2025. Each of these fights are rumored to earn him around $100 million. But if you run the numbers, something just doesn't add up. His highest ticket sales ever were 27 million. And according to his 10 biggest fights, he's averaged almost 1 million buys on pay-per-view and had $750,000 on his last fight with Berlanga. And at $90 per pay-per-view buy, his fight brought in just under $70 million. Now that's some serious cash, but it's nowhere near that $100 million mark he's reportedly getting paid. So to me, the math isn't mathing. But hey, I'm no math major. If anyone can tell me where the difference is coming from, please put it in the comments below. But let's get real. Regardless of the numbers and the disputes, Canelo is still a true champion. He's fought for every penny he's made, scraping his way out of the trenches and all the way up to the houses on the hills. Canelo is one of the most skilled fighters of this generation. He's won world titles in multiple weight classes, fought some of the best in the sport, and continues to have major attraction worldwide. His fights still generate massive ticket sales, and he brings in global audience, not just in the US. Canelo isn't just a fighter, he's a businessman. He's endorsed by brands like Hennessy, Under Armour, and Everlast. His influence extends beyond boxing. He's invested in real estate and opened his own promotions company, Canelo Promotions. He's creating opportunities for the next generation of fighters, proving that his worth isn't just in the ring, but in the business world too. So it makes sense that Canelo has become more than just a boxer, but an inspiration for the boxers across the world. His work ethic, discipline, and ability to move through weight classes clearly makes him a generational talent. Whether you love him or hate him, his influence on boxing is undeniable. There is no doubt that Canelo Alvarez is a boxing legend. But is he overpaid? Some say yes. His pay-per-view numbers and fight choices don't match his hype. Others argue that his legacy, skill set, and maybe his business acumen makes him worth every penny. But one thing is certain, his journey offers valuable lessons for anyone who's looking to achieve greatness. But what do you think? Is he overpaid, reportedly making $100 million per fight? Or is he worth every dollar? Let us know what you think in the comments. And of course, give us a like and subscribe if you made it this far. Until next time, guys, we're out of here.